Alright, yes, we starting the live. We have more time with Pastor. Right, me, heart disease. Okay, beautiful. You know, not too long. We ain't staying too long. We're just gonna show you how to dissect everything, you know. Yeah. Good night, Mike Barnett, my brother. Good night, blessed love. Ian. Najee James. Oh, I see you in Grenada. I have to see you, doll. Please make yourself available so I can see you before you leave to go back to Canada. Alright? Alright. Jolita, Bonus, Tony, welcome. Miss Johnson, good night. Jean, VT Melville, good night. Cynthia, good night. Julia Jarrett, good night. Crispin Clarence, blessed love. Griffith Crift, Representative Tracy Brands, blessed love. Wave Carby, blessed love. Tracy Brands. Wonderful. How are you all doing tonight? Give thanks and praise to the Most High Jehovah God for all his blessings and wisdom that he is bestowed upon we human beings. All right? His name must be praised and give him all the glory. Hey, baby. All right. Shake, huh? All right. So we want to give thanks and praise to the Most High. We're not going to take too long because my daughter is going to do the camera work tonight with my son. So, you know what I mean? Then the kids are very impatient. Yeah, but tonight, we have a doctor who's in a hospital. He's in ICU. Very good friend of mine. Got a stroke and a heart attack. And then we had another good friend of mine I met yesterday who had a stroke. Mild stroke like I did. I'm a stroke survivor. You understand? 35 years now. I haven't had another stroke. If you have one stroke, this doctor had 2 before, and this is the third one. Now he's in very bad condition. So we're going to pray for the brother. All right? Very good friend of mine. All right? So we're going to pray for him. Because strokes and heart attacks can be prevented. Understand? And I prevented myself from getting another stroke. So if I can do it, lots of people who can implement discipline, could also prevent heart attack and strokes. Because now we're finding that a lot of Caribbean countries, people in the Caribbean countries is coming out with strokes and heart attacks. We had a gentleman who was driving, had a heart attack. We had another brother again, George Marisho Dexter, my nephew's father, just died from a heart attack this very last week. And he was a so-called good eater. So it's not about plaque and cholesterol, because we just had a patient from New York who came into Grenada and said she had 98% blockage of the arteries but did not have high cholesterol. Ooh. But they're making us feel that once you have a high level of cholesterol, you're going to get a heart attack or a stroke. And that is not really true. Because cholesterol is very significant. We got a whole other program on that. But cholesterol, they're giving it a bad name. You understand? And cholesterol alone don't cause you to have heart attacks and stroke. That's not true. That's false information. We're going to teach you. What does? The simple food you eat on a regular basis, that's what happens to you. You get strokes eventually, affect your heart muscle. All right? So what we're going to do, we have over here, come baby, come over here. Come shoot for daddy. We have onions, and we have ginger, and we have garlic, and we have lemon, and we have lime, and we have cucumbers, and we have celery, and we're going to put some parsley, and we're going to teach you how to unblock them arteries naturally or keep plaque from forming on the walls of your arteries. That's what I do. Because, come on baby. See my tea right here? We're going to put it in the tea and show you how to use it. Because, take off the light, babe. Take off the light bulb. Because lots of people who are getting older try eating the same fries and the same greasy foods and heating up all the oils. And once oils get in a heat of 125 degrees Fahrenheit, you're in trouble with your heart. Grapeseed oil, this oil, that oil, all of them. It damages your heart eventually. Especially when you pass a certain age bracket. You're not young and running around like the children do. So it's just common sense that if you keep on using all these oils on a regular basis, you're going and you pass the age of 50 and you're just eating at night and laying down, and after you eat, you're going to mess your heart up. And the brain too. All right? So we're going to come and make that in a little while. So we're going to go over here. All right, go right here. All right, we're going to go right over here. We're going to put, for daddy, you're going to get the camera, you have the computer. You can put it on for me. Wonderful. Yeah. So, we have to look at, what causing us to have troubles in the heart. All right? Got it? Wonderful. Now, if you look at over here, you see I have EDTA. That's what I use to keep my arteries clean. And then I use a lot of nutmeg. We're going to place some nutmeg. We're going to show how to use the nutmeg. And we have some herbs, and we have some herb teas. And we're going to make a little juice. We ain't staying too long, you know what I mean? We're going to make a little juice, and we're going to show you how to keep the arteries clean. Because young people don't come down with heart disease too. All right? Come over here, darling. Right here for daddy. Bloop, shoot it on the screen. Don't put on the light. Or keep the light off. Right? You here? Yeah. You got it? All right. Heart disease. We ain't want to run through all that, but we're going to go down a little bit, and we're going to show you a little bit of normal heart, left ventricle. A lot of people, like my nephew just called today, and he said to me, he's out with his daughter for orientation, so he can't make it tonight. He's back tomorrow. So sometime next week, we're going to have my nephew, who's a cardiologist, Daigo Humphrey. We did a program before. We're going to have him talking about cardiomyopathy and fibrillation and the pacemakers and stuff like that, so you can have a better understanding how the heart works, because he's trained in that area. You know what I mean? So, let's concentrate over here, because this muscle is made to pump the blood forever. And we know that the blood is your life. And no doctor could doubt that the blood is your life. Keep it straight for me, Paul. You got it? Got it straight? The blood is your life. So this muscle pumps the blood through the vessel walls. And once you start having troubles in this muscle, you're going to have troubles somewhere. Because he's important. And you see, God is great. All them unbelievers who don't believe in God, man can never make a heart. Man try to make a heart like this, he can't make it. He can't. He will try, but he can't make it. He can never be like the Most High. You know what I mean? The Most High make a heart to pump forever and ever. Amen. Now the blood, we're going to tell you why you get the troubles in the heart. It's a phone. And we're going to make a drink for you. Let's go down. Let's go down right here. Poop. Let's go down right there. Let's look at first, we're going to look at type of heart disease. That make it big for you all so you can see. Type of heart disease and angina pectoris, discomfort or pain, heaviness, pain or pressure in your chest. And sometimes the pain leaves and go down into your left arm, into your fingers, and that is a sign that you are having troubles in your heart. Atherosclerosis is hardening of the arteries, and is don't caused by only cholesterol. That is false information. Deposits of fatty substances on the walls of your arteries, causing your arteries to become thickened. You know what can cause that too? Too much insulin. You understand? Too much insulin can cause the walls of your arteries to become thickened if you are suffering from insulin resistance. And if you are suffering from insulin resistance and your doctor give you more insulin, it could cause you to have hardening of the arteries, heart attacks. That's what killed Mr. Mary Show last week. That is what have the doctor in the hospital right now. He had a heart attack and he had a stroke. And that is what we call myocardial infarction, occurs when the blood supply and the oxygen is that it carries is cut off, causing your heart to die. Congestive heart failure. A lot of people have that too when they have high blood pressure. Congestive heart failure, failure of the heart muscle. And remember that when you are exercising and you're using your muscles, you are creating more carbon dioxide. We're going to talk about that. And that could damage your heart too. All right? Heart muscle. When the heart has been weakened by a heart attack, being unable to pump fully, resulting in blood congestion in the heart muscle. Symptoms: shortness of breath from minimal exertion, or when lying down flat on your back, because sometimes there's water in your heart too. We're going kind of fast tonight. Yeah? Type of heart disease. High blood pressure. When you have high blood pressure weakens and degenerates your arteries and is the major cause of congestive heart failure. So don't get high blood pressure, because high blood pressure tells me you have something wrong with your heart anyway. Arterial fibrillation, they call it AFib, is irregular heartbeat that can lead to blood clots and strokes, especially the clot going to your lung, causing you to have embolism. All right, we're going kind of fast. Cardiomyopathy, a disease of the heart muscle and causing the heart muscle to thicken, causing scar tissues on your heart muscle. And the cause of cardiomyopathy is what? Changes in the genes in heart muscle proteins, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy from high blood pressure, diabetes, and troubles in your thyroid gland, hypothyroidism. So don't get them. You know what I mean? Those are the causes. All right? Causes of heart disease. Now let's look at these foods here now. Let's look at them foods. Say over here for me. Go back to that. I want you to look at refined processed foods, saturated fats, high level of fleshy foods, because it's flesh foods, dairy products, and animal products. High homocysteine level, high oxidized cholesterol. We're going to talk high oxidized cholesterol that irritates the formation of plaque material walls in the frame of blood circulation, leading attacks and strokes. Those are the culprits. We're going to talk about those. We'll go back over here. Boop, we're going back to the heart. Stick to the heart for me. I want to stick over here. See over here, Bobo? Watch me here. See normal heart? I want you to hit the heart right there. See this here? Right here. Put it right over there for Daddy. This is the guy we're going to talk about now. Now, you see right over here? Your life is your blood. And no one can doubt that. That's why Jehovah God says to us that we cannot use blood, because the blood is your life. That's why he said to you, do not eat anything that's strangled. You must, if you're going to use your kill your chicken or your whatever, your goat or whatever, you got to drain the blood. That is in scriptures. And he knows best, because he is the creator of the human body. All right? The blood. In the air that we breathe, is 79 to 80% nitrogen. I want you to follow me now. And 21% oxygen from the air we breathe. Nitrogen and oxygen. There is 79 to 80% nitrogen and only 21% oxygen that we breathe. You understand? To keep the body in balance. So we have to have a balance of nitrogen and oxygen. Right? Poisonous nitrogen now. Poisonous nitrogen destroys our tissues, and the poisonous nitrogens destroy our cells. You understand? Causing us to have troubles in the heart long term. Not only plaque, not only cholesterol. Don't let them fool you all now. You understand? Poisonous nitrogen destroy our tissues and destroy our cells, and nitrogen reaches your liver. Like oxygen goes, the blood picks up oxygen, but nitrogen is fed through that organ we call the liver. Two different places. Don't forget, oxygen is picked up by the blood, and nitrogen goes straight into your liver. You understand? While oxygen is carried by your bloodstream. You understand? Now, carbon, C-A-R-B-O-N, and carbohydrates. Mark the words down. Carbon and carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, carbon. You understand? Now, carbon, so over here. Come over here. Stay over here for me, Daddy, please. Stay right over here for me. Don't move the camera. Carbon is one of the ingredients or composition of carbohydrates. Carbon, C-A-R-B-O-N. That's why carbonated drinks is bad for you. Carbon is one of the ingredients in the composition of carbohydrates. Anybody says I'm lying? Tell me I'm lying. I said that carbon is one of the ingredients in the composition of carbohydrates. Eating lots of carbohydrates regularly without the addition of vegetables, meaning that you have to buffer. Eating lots of carbohydrates on a regular basis without mixing these carbohydrates with vegetables can cause you to have starch poisoning. Don't forget I told you all that. Eating lots of carbohydrates can lead to you, the person who is eating lots of carbohydrates, not mixing them with vegetables, can cause you to have what? Starch or carbohydrate poisoning. Right? The rate of our heartbeat, this heart right here, the rate of our heartbeat regulated by what? By the amount of carbon dioxide in your blood. Tell me if I'm lying now. I said the rate of our heartbeat is regulated by the amount of carbon dioxide that is in our blood. And that's the reason when you exercise and you do not lot of muscle work, working your muscles up, you are producing lots of carbon dioxide. Tell me if I'm lying. The more you use your muscle, put it over here, baby. The more you use your muscles, is the more carbon dioxide you build up in the blood, in the system. So the rate of our heartbeat is regulated by the amount of carbon dioxide in the blood. The rate of this heartbeat right here. As our muscles, tell me if I'm lying. That's chemistry. Now everybody took chemistry, supposed to know that too. And I didn't even like biology and chemistry, but I learned. Now, as our muscles moves, every time you move the muscles, your muscles in turn produces carbon dioxide. Your carbon dioxide is now picked up by the bloodstream. Am I lying? Speaking the truth, the blood is your life. Your carbon dioxide is now picked up by the blood, and while moving, the carbon dioxide causes your heart to race. And that is the reason why when people are jogging or they are walking too fast, they're producing a lot of carbon dioxide, and while they are running and producing all this carbon dioxide, that's why your heart keep racing. Boxers have the same problem too. When they're boxing, they heart race. Basketball players running back and forth on the court, when they're running back and forth, the muscles is working. They are now producing carbon dioxide, and once the carbon dioxide is picked up by the bloodstream, while moving, it causes this heart to race, or what they call palpitate. Because carbon, hold on, son. Because, look it right up for me, keep it right here. Because carbohydrate has a large amount of carbon. Don't forget I told you, tell me if I'm lying now. Because carbohydrates have a large amount of carbon, don't forget now, the more carbohydrate you eat, the greater and the more dangerous it is for you to develop troubles in your heart. Hear what I said? I said, because carbohydrates have a large amount of carbon, the more carbohydrates you eat, rice, potatoes, yam, breadfruit, pastas, the more of them you eat is the greater effect or the danger of you developing problems in your heart. So it is very imperative that you eat a starch or a carbohydrate with vegetables, because carbohydrates have a lot of carbon, and the more you eat carbohydrates is the more you develop more carbon that gives you troubles in your heart long term. So it's not only cholesterol, it's not only LDL and overall cholesterol and plaque in the walls. It is also the amount of carbohydrate that you're eating. Don't shake the camera. Keep it steady. That you're eating on a regular basis. So don't forget, because carbohydrates has a large amount of carbon, the more carbohydrate you eat, the greater the danger for developing heart troubles long term. So always eat a carbohydrate with a vegetable. We're going to teach you how to do that now. You understand? Now we're going to look at the adrenals too. All right? Now, in order for you to have good heart health, you have to have good adrenal health, and you have to have good bowel health. All right? So we're going to show you now what we could use to nourish your heart muscle. All right? Because we went there already. All right? Now, what we're going to do for you now, we're going to show you, put the juice together, and show you how you can keep your heart muscle from coming like that, right over here. See right here? See right like that. See? This heart over here. See right there. Point for you. Get a piece of paper here. Ah. You're almost done, sir. It's take too long. Take it from that. Wonderful. This is the normal heart. Left ventricle, right ventricle, left atrium, right atrium. Mitral valve. Right ventricle, left ventricle, picks up what? Atrium, picks up oxygen, back, picks up, back, carbon dioxide. One picks up carbon dioxide, one picks up oxygen. We just talked about that a while ago, carbon dioxide. This heart right here have what we call left ventricle hypertrophy. And this one here is when you get a heart attack, because I had a blocked artery make me get a stroke. See right here? Blocked artery right there. So once the artery is blocked, it's common sense going to tell us now that the heart can never work well. So the heart have to work extra hard to pump the blood through the vessel walls. And so you start to have troubles in your heart long term. Because over 500,000 people in America die every year from heart disease. And the Caribbean people is picking it up too. Because we are dying from strokes and we are dying from heart disease. We are dying from stress-related troubles too. We're going to have a whole different program on the adrenals, on the endocrine system. We're going to have a whole program on that. Because we won't stay too long tonight. But on the next program, we're going to show you the connection between your adrenal glands and your heart. We're going to show you the connection between cortisol, a corticosteroid, and the medulla and the cortex of the gland, and what they do to keep us healthy. Because some of these hormones that the adrenal produces affects your heart, affects your high blood pressure, affects your sugar levels. We're going to tell you about that. That's a whole different thing. Go to that. All right? Let's go over here now, son. All right? Yeah? Yeah, from the computer. We want it no more. The next program we're going to have, because there is a connection between your heart and your adrenals, the gland on top of your kidney, the cortex and the medulla. In depth. A lot of doctors don't know about that. They never study it. You have to go to endocrinologists. But these two glands are very significant in keeping your heart healthy. In the medulla part of the adrenals move the most bloodstream more than the cortex. But the cortex is important for excitement, flight response, pain, shock. You know what I mean? You understand? Stress levels. And the medulla, with the two hormones it produces, you understand? It's dealing with raising of your pressure, your heart, and it deals with the what? The raising of your sugar levels from your pancreas. They work together. So that's a whole different program. But we're going to go into detail and show you how the adrenals can get you sick in your heart too, long term. All right? So we're going to unblock the arteries now. All right? Now, see them limes here? Lemon, 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 lemon. Limes. 4, 6, 9. You can use 10 if you want to. Put them in a blender. Blend the juice. Don't blend the juice. Don't blend it. Juice it. Celery, parsley, lettuce, beets, very important for the adrenals. And once you have good adrenals, you got good heart health. All right, because listen still. When you get a heart attack, once someone is getting a heart attack, your cortisol level rises high. No doctors could doubt that. It's reality. Once you get in a heart attack, your cortisol level rises high. And that's why a lot of doctors who give you all them cortisol shot for arthritis, they're killing all your adrenals long term. I'm going to say it again. Them doctors who giving you all them shots. Them cortisone shots. Killing your adrenals. You understand? Your adrenals going to come weak long term. Taking them shots for arthritis. Fix your arthritis naturally. Don't take them shots. Kill your adrenals, kill your heart long term. So once the cortisol level rises, you get in a heart attack, gone high, you kill your heart muscle. Second hormone, adrenaline. Do you know that if your heart stops for 2 minutes and your doctor is wise enough and he takes some adrenaline and shoot it back in your bloodstream, you come back alive. Let them know that too. Scientists will say, hey, you're talking crap. That's factual. Once you have a heart attack and you have your heart stops, you can take some adrenaline if it's not more than 6 minutes, and you can choke that adrenaline back into the patient's arm, and the adrenaline will break back up your heart muscle. Understand what I'm saying? All right. Now before that, tell everything. Once that line, you go to the cucumbers. And now, you're going to do 1/2 of the onion. Half of onion. Must put ginger too. Lots of garlic. 6 grated of the garlic. And 4 sticks of these. That's all you need to unblock your arteries. That's all you need to unblock your arteries. And get some hawthorn berries, some salvia root, some olive leaf extract, some olive leaf, some mother's wort. And then hawthorn also help the heart to get a stronger contraction, but also prevent plaque from forming on the walls of the arteries, but also help to remove the plaque from the walls too, right? So, you go. Here over here, son. Put on the light. We have some nutmeg, right? So I got my pestle, right? The nutmeg. All right, and what we're gonna do with the nutmeg is, yeah, come over here, son. Come over here, son. We take the nutmeg. And we're going to scrape, we're going to grate some nutmeg in that mixture right here. Grate the nutmeg, you know what I mean? Oh, yeah, grate the nutmeg here, man. Grate it in. I'm telling you, I'm giving you all the things I have to do to keep myself healthy, to keep my heart healthy, because I don't want to get another stroke. And I want you all to learn so you don't get no strokes either. You know what I mean? Too many people have trouble in their heart. They don't function well. Have cardiomyopathy, have a large heart, have fatty livers. You know what I mean? You drink this every day, you can never have a fatty liver, never, period. Right, so you can grate a nutmeg in there, a nutmeg and grate it. And then, what I do, I put a teaspoon of EDTA, get over here. It binds with heavy metal too. First, I put it in here and I stir it up. Now, you can do 2 things. You can either mix the mixture with the tea of, we're going to mark it on the screen for you, hawthorn leaf and flower, mother's wort, olive leaf, danshen or salvia root, niblumen cereus, prickly ash, and another herb called linden flower. And if there is trouble in the adrenals, you can add a herb called cassandra berry or rhodiola. The herbs. Or you can mix them together. So if you're having a cup of tea, you can take 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons, 4 tablespoons. And you can work with this every day in a glass, bottle or a glass kettle, and then you're on your job. And what you can do is you can sip. Don't just gulp it, just sip it. Or you can do a tablespoon of this in the morning. Yeah? Let me know. And a tablespoon in the afternoon, and a tablespoon in the evening with your teas. Or you can mix it in your tea and you can drink it.
Ain't tasting bad, no?
And it go down. And when it go in, any plaque in the walls, in the arteries, have to move out. No carbohydrates, no carbonated drinks, no fried foods, no oils. No oils, period. Don't even put no oil in no heat. Especially if you are over the age of 50. You know what I mean? Don't use them things because they're going to kill your heart. And the most important thing is, do not eat at night. Do not eat at night and go in your bed and fall asleep, because these things will never work. This thing would only work when the body is at peace and at rest, and there is nothing sitting in your digestive system, and these things will go in and they will do the job for you. They will clean up everything. Clean them up. Clean up your arteries, the small capillaries, the venous blood, the capillary blood, and the arterial blood. Clean it up. And you will know. You know why? You will know if you're a man. If you're a man, you're going to know because at 2 o'clock in the morning, your penis is going to wake you up. Because you're going to get up hard in the morning time, because no, everything is clean and the pineal artery is cleaning up. So you must get a good erection because no, it's cleaning up everything. And because ginger is alkaline, it buffers everything. Because cucumbers are alkaline, it buffers everything. Because celery is alkaline and lettuce alkaline, they buffer everything. So everything remains buffer. So the bloodstream, the pH of the arterial blood remains at 7.45. The pH of the capillary blood remains at 7.45, 7.5. And the pH of the capillary blood remains at 7.45. And then your heart will work better, because your heart must work in that pH. If your heart has to work in an acid system, you're going to kill yourself. So when they talk about cholesterol and plaque, cholesterol don't cause no plaque. Cholesterol drugs will murder you faster than anything else. When you have a fatty liver, kill your heart. You have diabetes, it's going to kill your heart. You have high blood pressure, it's going to kill your heart. You have adrenal weakness, it's going to kill your heart. So you have to have everything in balance. You know what I mean? And in order for you to have these things in balance, you have to eat the foods that is heart healthy for you, and you have to leave the carbohydrate alone. If you can't leave them alone, make sure you mix them with some vegetables to avoid the buildup of carbon dioxide, which will make your heart palpitate regularly, causing you to have more trouble in your heart. So it's not only cholesterol cause plaque. Too much carbohydrates, high level of homocysteine levels without taking B6 to normalize the homocysteine, you must have trouble in your heart. So don't put all the blame on cholesterol only, put the blame on carbohydrates. Because your body don't really function on carbohydrates, small amount of it, but you use it the wrong way. And once you use it the wrong way, you say carbo, carbon, carbohydrates. Too much of it build up carbon. It's common sense. You know what I mean? And if you have too much carbon monoxide, even worse. Carbon dioxide, bad too. But the body picks it up when you're moving out, you're jumping around. See, the body picks up carbon dioxide. And that's why we says that too much exercise is no good for you either. Because when you exercise too much, you create what we call oxygen-free radicals that damage your heart long term. So you have to do exercise in moderation, because once you are exercising and you are building up carbon dioxide, your heart would start to race. And if you have troubles in your heart, you will get a heart attack long term. So I'm telling you all, keep these things in mind and keep your heart healthy and keep the blood moving well, and you will keep the arteries clean and you will never get a heart attack. So the next program we're going to have is on the adrenals. We're going to concentrate on the adrenals only and show you how you can prevent anxiety, depression, mental disorders, and also troubles in the heart and troubles in the pancreas by keeping the adrenals well. Blessed love. And don't forget, next year, April 30th to 13th, we are having a big retreat in Grenada. You can sign up for the retreat. We're going to teach you, we're going to have doctors coming in. We're going to have a cardiologist. We're going to have a chiropractor. We're going to have an endocrinologist. We're going to have a cancer specialist. We're going to have an herbalist. We're going to have a colon therapist. From the 3rd of April 2020, God give us health and strength to see another day, to the 13th of April, we're going to have a big retreat in Grenada. And we have everybody coming in. We're going to teach you how to cook. We're going to go to the beach. We're going to hang out. We're going to fix your troubles. So make sure you sign up for that program, because God is love. And God give us a system that will heal itself. And I'm in New York again in September the 5th. I'm in New York for 5 days. And I'm going to Canada. I'm in Canada from the 15th of September to the 20th of September. I'm in New York from the 5th of September to the 10th of September. And I'm back in Grenada. Bless and love, and give thanks and praise to the Most High. And don't forget to always praise and give thanks to the Lord himself. Bless and love. All right. Wonderful. Give thanks. Give God all the glory. Keep this in your refrigerator. Don't forget, keep it in the refrigerator and take a tablespoon every morning, and you will be blessed. Give thanks, and good night, everybody, and have a nice weekend, and keep your guns at home, and don't forget to love your neighbor as yourself. Blessed love.